Okay everyone, we're going to do the unboxing of the Kobalt 40 volt max rear wheel drive lawnmower. We're going to do the unboxing, put it all together, and then do the first test drive for you. So first thing we're going to do, see what's going on in the box, what kind of tools we need to put it together, and how complicated the instructions look. So this is what it looks like when it comes right out of the box. There's a little bit of damage in shipment, but this is actually how it arrived on the doorstep. First thing we're going to take out looks like the battery charger. We'll set that aside. Second thing is probably the battery. So we'll set that on the charger and get that started right away. Next thing is the, looks like the catch, the mulch bag as they call it. It's a decent size. I wouldn't say it's high capacity. Quality's all right. I wouldn't say it's high-end quality, but it's probably good enough to do the job. But compared to my existing gas mower, this is probably a little bit smaller than I'd prefer. But we'll do a side-by-side later. What else do we have in here? This looks like, I can't think of the name of it, but it goes on the side if we weren't going to be using the bag. This is the manual for the charger and the battery, which we don't really need. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And then this is what the manual for the mower looks like, and we're going to go through this page by page. And then take out the packing material. Like we have a small bag of parts. Let's set that aside. Those look like they're in there just to keep things from moving around, so we'll cut these. Come apart. And lastly, we will lift this thing out of the box. Hopefully it's not super heavy. Alright, doesn't look like there's going to be a lot to do in terms of putting it together, which is nice. So let's see. The instructions say we need. I'd say it weighed about 25 to maybe 30 pounds picking it up out of the box. If that's too heavy for you, you might want to get some help. So the instructions come with tiny pictures and then the corresponding language to tell you what to do. So step 1A, align the mounting holes on the upper handle and the lower handle, insert the handle bolts and secure using the handle knobs, and repeat for both sides. So these are most likely the handle knobs. It looks like there's 2 screws and 2 knobs in this packet. We'll take those out. Doesn't appear we're going to need any tools. I'm assuming this is what's going to be doing that. I'm going to put these on the outside. these look adjustable, but I'm gonna keep them at the high side. I'm tall. I'm taller, so I'm gonna put those bolts through. Screw that on. I'm gonna double check the photo to make sure that these are put on correctly. So I'm not gonna tighten them too tight. Alright, so the breakout picture for 1B shows the plastic knobs on the outside, which is what I did in my application. Screws from the inside pointing out, and that's kind of a breakout there of what it looks like. So I did that correctly. So we'll tighten those by hand. All right, 2, removing the mulching plug. To remove the mulching plug, lift the rear discharge door. Grasp the handle of the mulching plug. Using this handle, lift and pull the mulch plug out. The mulching plug is inserted at an angle, so it requires some force. The mulching plug must be removed in order to install the grass catcher bag. The mulching plug must be reinstalled when the grass catcher bag is removed. Well, it's not a lot of force, but this is the mulching plug. I'm taking that out. Now we have a wide open hole for the grass catcher bag to go in. Unfolding the adjusting handle. Pull and rotate the handle lock knobs 90 degrees on both sides to loosen the lower handles on both sides. So let's see what the diagram says. Looks like it's just above the wheels. That looks like one. This looks like the other. This does require some force. I'm going to turn them sideways, lift this up, lay it down, and then put these back. And that looks a little low. I'm going to raise this up a bit. I'd like it at a higher angle. That goes in. That goes in. So you'll see there's 3 holes to choose from, and that determines the angle that this handle is going to be at. These plastic plugs on the side pull out with a little bit of force, and there's a black plastic knob here that locks this into place. Once you get the fit right and the silver piece through, that in turn locks the angle of the handle. And like I said, I prefer it a little high because I'm taller, but depending on your height, you'd probably want to decide how high you want this handle to be. So we'll kind of go back to the grass bag installation. I'm going to use the grass bag. I'm probably never going to use the mulcher, and I'm probably never going to use the side attachment. So typically, the grass bags are pretty easy to install. And we're going to look and see where the hooks are for this. So, there's a metal bar here. When you lift this, there's a metal bar and these metal hooks. And you're going to put those hooks on the metal bar and then drop this down. And there's a piece of plastic that keeps the grass from coming out. And that seems to be all there is to attach the grass catching bag. Now that leaves us with installing the battery and removing the battery. So we're going to take this plastic wrap off, and we're going to open this and expose where the battery goes. I don't know if the battery's charged. Nope, it's got 1 green dot out of 4, but we'll do it for demonstration's sake. And if you look at the battery and you look at how it's going in, it looks like there's only one way, If you give it a push, it goes in, so the Kobalt logo is facing the front. And like I said, you can push this button and see how much battery life is in the battery. I don't know what that is, but we'll find out. That's a safety key. Release the power level to stop the mower, open the door, press and hold the release button. This will cause the battery to raise out slightly and remove the battery from the mower. That looks like it, besides adjusting the cut height, which you'll see a lever here, which adjusts the height of the back wheels. The wheels on the front are self-adjusting on this mower. So for me, I would probably experiment with my height and bring it up to a 2 to start. It looks like there's 7 positions. So as you go back, the mower gets higher off the ground. So I'll probably start the test on my lawn at a 3 and then check it on different cuts to see what it looks like. My lawn is fairly low at the moment. Okay, starting and stopping. Press and hold the safety lock button, which is up here. Here's the start button on this mower. This looks like the self-propelled motor speed and how fast you want this thing to go. I'm gonna take this plastic wrap off so I can release the handle. There we go. So we've got 2 bars here. Let's see which one's which. One's probably the blades and one's probably the motor. So the bail lever starts, here we go. We're not even turned on. So this one gets the self-propelled to move. So we'll back that up, kind of cool. There's a little bit of a delay between when I pull the lever and when it starts. It's called a soft start feature, so when you're initially starting up. And then we've got the self-propelled mowing. So let's go ahead and start the mower. This has to be depressed in order for the blades to turn. Upon release of this, it's an automatic safety shutoff, which is great. So, and the self-propel motor piece is separate from that. So, pretty decent speed in terms of walk behind. Hopefully we've got good power because my front lawn is on a hill. And that's it. It looks like cutting height adjustments. Replacing the cutting blade instructions, storing the motor, etc. Last thing we'll take a look at is battery charge time and parts, in case you need to order replacement parts. And then we'll give it a test drive. Okay, we're ready to start the actual mow test. One thing I didn't go over earlier was this speed button. There's a speed adjustment here from turtle to rabbit, which is slow to fast. And we're gonna play around with that and see what the difference is. So this is the one that gets the motor going. That's on the turtle speed. So now we're gonna change it to the rabbit. Quite a bit different. I don't know if you really need to speed mow, but if you do, that's probably an option for you. I'm gonna keep it on the turtle mode because I like good clean cuts. So we're gonna get the mower started. You can see the height of my grass. It's not out of control long, but it's long enough that we need to put a mow on it. So let's go ahead and take a couple passes and see how this thing cuts. Again, this is at the 3 height. So we'll take a couple passes at the 3, we'll go down to the 1, and then we'll go down to the 7 just for good measure. The resistance on the mower was a good deal, greater than I anticipated, and this is a pretty short cut even though it's on a 3. So if you look at the pass I did versus the grass next door, that's a 3 cut. So we're going to go ahead and take a cut. I'll probably up the speed on the mower this time to a little bit faster, and we'll move it to a 7. That's the highest cut you can get. And we're going to go a little faster and see what it does to the horsepower of the motor. a 7, we didn't make contact with the grass whatsoever. So 7's not really going to help us out. This is midway through the rabbit and the turtle in speed. That seems a little more like the speed I'd like to use. We're going to drop it down to a 1 now. Might be too short of a cut, but we'll go ahead and experiment anyway. So on this mower, you have to push this button first and then pull the safety latch or it won't start. So 1 is clearly too short. So you can see that the blades pretty much crushed my grass at a 1. So 3 is probably where I'm going to go on this lawn. Actually, I'm probably going to go at 4 because it's summer. I don't need a tight cut right now. So I'm going to back up, put this line down again. We'll experiment with that. We push the button, pull the lever. So you can see a 4 and a 3 cut side by side. Not a whole lot of difference. I could probably get away with the 3 if I didn't want to mow as frequently on this lawn, but the 1 will definitely tear you up and the 7 won't make contact at all. So overall, the mower functions well. There's quite a bit of resistance on this lawn because this is thick crabgrass, but overall I'm pretty pleased with the horsepower and the ability for this to move. If you're on your way back to your shed, I'd probably use the rabbit. Again, other than the grass catch being slightly smaller, which probably has a lot to do with the length of the battery life, which I'll post later in my review, I think this is a pretty solid alternative to a gas mower. You've got a shorter path, so you're going to have to take more passes, but since you're not pushing the mower, who cares? Might take 5 extra or 10 extra minutes longer to do your whole lawn. But in the scheme of the environment, if you're environmentally conscious, this is a pretty sound investment for your money. I hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions, go ahead and ask, and I'll see if I can respond as I use it.